All right.
All right.
Welcome to another edition of the Northern Touch Show. I am your host, Director Awesome, along with DJ Despair and Thrust OG. And today's guest we have music producer, recording engineer, No Casino. Welcome to the show.
No. Where you hailing from? Let people know what's your what's your lineage, man? Where you from?
So I'm originally from York, Pennsylvania, and I pretty much grew up there, spent most of my life there, and I've just recently moved out to Pittsburgh. So I'm hanging out there now and cooking up.
What's it like? What's it like growing up in York, Pennsylvania? How did that sculpt your musical journey? Like, what was the background? What was the setting for those people who may not know? We're based in Canada. This is a worldwide podcast, so a lot of people up here, our fans up here, and we got people everywhere, but they might not know what's it like growing up somewhere like that. Just to paint a picture.
I didn't love it, to be honest. It's very like in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know. It's hard to get into that, but like,
was there anything you think? Because reason I say that, it's like if you look at New York hip hop, right?
mm-hmm.
You guys can jump in with it if you think it's pin too. A lot of if you look at a lot of the innovative music that came out of hip hop, out of New York City, it was from people who were just on the outskirts.
Okay.
There's a theory that most of the most creative people, like in a lot of genres and the arts and stuff, are people who are close to an urban center, but they're not right in the heart of it. Like you look at New York, like a lot of New York City, out of the boroughs, the one spot that look at Shaolin Island, that's Wu-Tang.
Okay.
And if you look at Long Island, that's Prodigy, Leaders of the New School, which is Busta, Public Enemy. And if you look where it is, those are the ones that are just on a little on the outside. So sometimes I think people, maybe it is because you're not as there's not as much lights and stimulation that maybe you work on your craft more.
It definitely made me appreciate like nature, and I definitely try to put that into my music. Like I'm a big nature guy. I like going camping and hiking and stuff, and I think I try to incorporate just like the way being out in nature feels into the beats I use and the samples I select. And I think being from right in the center of a bunch of big metropolitan places, like York's pretty much the same distance from Philly to New York to Baltimore to DC is like within a couple hours. And so I kind of pull a lot of the influence from different people from those cities,
Exactly. That's almost like it sounds a lot like how Toronto is. Toronto is a Canadian city, which it is, of course, but it's a border city too, right? So that's why we have that influence too, because you drive 7 hours, you're in New York, you drive an hour, we're at Buffalo, Niagara Falls, right?
Yeah,
so we're Griselda. We're in Griselda. We're like Griselda a lot. Like we're in that Griselda zone because we're pretty much 45 minutes to an hour away from each other, and we're close enough to the heart of New York. And then we drive to Philly too. My family used to drive to Philly. So hey, you guys can speak too, man. Hey.
So, for those that don't know, for those that don't know, actually, the song that you just heard, intro song to our podcast, is actually made by No Casino. I guess Thrust had reached out to No Casino and asked him if he had any beats laying around or anything like that, and this is what he came up with. And we instantly said that's our intro to our song, to our podcast. It was awesome. So, do you remember that song? And do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I do. That song. I also heard that. And I think I sent a couple other beats along with that one, just in case you guys had wanted to do something different. But when I heard that one, I was like, yeah, that's got to be. That sounds like an intro,
Yeah. And that was the cookup. That was hard not to write to too, though. As an artist, you know what I'm saying? I got that. I was like, wow, that would be a good song too, man. When you listen to that, you know what I mean? You can hear anybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those. But and you still might hear some flows on it later. It's our beat. We could do something. We got to do an intro for the show, so maybe we'll cook something up. But yeah, thanks for that, man. And it's
Oh,
funny
of
what you said
course.
earlier about you. See, the one thing I'm glad I asked you about you living and how you grew up, and you're saying you have that influence of nature, and I hear that
Okay.
even on your post. Despair. What's your favorite thing about? I know for me it's the same. Despair. What's your favorite thing about No Casino's post on Instagram? You see his post. What is it?
It's relaxing. It's very relaxing.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. That's kind of the vibe I go for.
Because like I make posts sometimes to just stab at people because I'm just in the mood. And then some days, like Thrust and I will go through daily things where we're just sitting there, and then me, him, and then I'll be talking to my other brother DTS, and then all of a sudden it's like everything we say will happen that week, and then I'll be just like wake up that morning, I'll see a wicked post and just bam. But then when I go to your page, I'm just like, if I post stuff like this, people gonna look at me like there's something wrong with me. I'm being too nice.
But he's out on the farm, dude. It's out on the porch. You see that?
It's just relaxed. It's like having like it's like I don't like I wish I had more freedom in that life, like to be around that atmosphere. And I got to go to a party yesterday where I got to like be around.
Hey man,
What?
you're right. Hey man, I saw a post. That's not real. That's superimposed, man.
Listen,
You're going to Guinness Book of Records, man. I saw that, man.
Yo, dog, we've rolled joints the length of my arm, like all different types of things, but that's just
Pause. You got to explain this properly to everybody because Director Asa don't know, and No Casino. No Casino. Did you go on Instagram? Did you see Despaire's post this morning?
We saw it.
Y'all saw it, right? Yes. Okay. Now, Despair, you got to explain to the people who are just watching, listening.
That day, that was the end of the night. See, what happened was everything started from 2:00 that day. So there was so many edibles and blunts and dabs and everything. By the end of the night, everyone's sitting there chilling, and there was like cake, weed, there was cupcakes, everything was infused even to the meals.
I want to join that. I want to join, man.
So by the end of the evening, so think about it now. It's like 11 o'clock, like about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, about 10:30 at night. And we have this long ass blunt paper sitting on the table, and then we decided to pack the bowl. So there was 25 different strains of weed that went into it, and it was.
This was
a minute, but
it's a big. We got to find a way to get next maybe
24 inches.
We can get the visuals up, man, because
24 inches.
It was really the length of his arm, dude. If you put his arm, it covered his arm. He didn't have an arm. The arm was the.
It was literally 24 inches.
Literally. It was thick like yo, man. I swear, man, bigger than your muscles, man. It was bigger than your forearm, man. It was like a forearm. It was a forearm, an average size forearm blunt, thick like that, man. I looked this morning. I woke up early. I was like, what the? I'm looking at this post, man. I'm like, what is that in his arm? And he goes, I did this to myself. You know what I thought first? I thought you cut yourself. I wasn't even joking. Yeah. I thought from far I looked, he has some cut in his arm. Did he fall down, get hurt?
So you see, now that we got into that conversation, I actually want to get into playing the song Fly now.
Right. Well, there you go.
We're gonna send people to at DJ Despair on Instagram so you can go and check out that photo.
Oh yeah, that photo, man. That's got to go viral. That photo is something else.
It's already doing numbers, man.
Okay, so we're gonna play Fly from No Casino, world premiere, Beat Tape Volume 2, No The Touch Show. Let's go.
El Casino flows. Thrust OG. You know what to do? Sure. Type A every day. Sure. That's right. Cause gotta stay fly, gotta stay dip, looking at myself, I know the reason why. Gotta stay fly, I gotta stay fly, man, I gotta stay dip, suitcases packed, I'm going on a trip, man, I got a whole set full of, you wanna sip, you wanna look fly, you say I'm the guy, well I stay escrow, you know how it grow, I'm doing it the best, niggas here, they wanna know, they wanna stress, yo, I stay fly, I have no position as I'm looking at the sky, I'm on a quest, yo, I'ma stay fly, I'm with the gear, the lyrics that you wanna hear, I got the tech and the lyrics, I get the go, I got the gas, I got the petrol, niggas want a ticket on the ride, they want a metro, yo, I stay fly, tell them, fly, why, I'm so fly, true stay fly, wanna measure up but the scale don't lie, I'm so fly, so fly, so fly, so fly.
Oh, NTS, the best. Director Awesome. DJ Despair, No Casino, Thrust OG. Beat Tape Volume 2, Stay Fly. Hey, man.
Very, very, very nice, boys. But I have a question because I'm kind of the outsider from the music industry, right? You guys are all involved in music somehow, but to No Casino, do you make those beats with somebody in mind, or does somebody come to you and say, "Hey, I need this type of beat in order to do a track on," or is it just something you have in mind and say, "You know what, this is a beat I'm going to go for Thrust"?
Normally the latter. Like I'll just be listening to music, looking for stuff to flip. And if I hear something that catches my ear, I'll chop it up and throw some drums on it. And normally I'll only send a beat to somebody if I'm hearing them on it while I'm making the beat. And like when I made that beat probably a year and a half ago, and didn't quite have anybody in mind when I made it, but when I sent the beats for this tape to Thrust, that was the one he heard and was like, "Yeah, that's the one."
I was so glad everybody left that. You know, when you get like, that's everyone knows. Can you explain the project? Because that's from a project. You have he has a project coming out in the next couple of weeks. You guys will see it. It's Beat Tape Volume 2. Is that correct? Am I saying it right?
Clubhouse
Rules. Call it? Oh, see, there you go. I better say Clubhouse Rules. You see, projects names. And it's a EP, right? But beats, guests, artists, right? Am I saying it right? I don't want to.
Yeah. So
put it out there how you want it out there.
So pretty much what I did with that, I put all the beats together before I sent them out to anybody, and kind of got the whole general idea of what I wanted to do beat-wise arranged. And I wanted to have a ton of different artists all on the beats, and so when I sent it to you, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
I just saying it's okay. It's Sunday. No, so you're still on point. You're saying, no, just saying how when you got the beats, at the time I got it, where a lot of artists was on it, and I was saying while we're talking about it, because like Director Austin says, when you're in the music, you get so into your bubble of what you're doing. But the people on the outside who don't know, I'm saying, explain the Clubhouse project. Like, who's on it? Is this the first one? Is this the second one? The third one? I'm just trying to get the background of the project. You know what I mean? Off of me asking you, you know, and just derived from me asking you basically how you send the beat to me. Cause like, hey, before we go into the tracks and start talking about the album, let people know that there is an album and where all this is coming from.
Okay, so yeah, basically, I got people like I have Dankery Harv on the album. We have that song that we just listened to, but with Thrust on it, and my friend YCT Phenom. Basically, I just wanted to get all the artists I really like working with and whose music I really enjoy all together on one big project and put it out, and you know.
So is there a precursor to this? I'm trying to give you some heat. Did you do another one? You did an earlier version, right? Was it something, a different title?
Yeah, I did.
I remember posting something that you did last year, a couple years. I think it was last year, a year or two ago. When did you do it?
A year and a half ago or so, I think. I did it's called The Usual Suspects, and it's a much shorter project. That one was like 5 songs or so, and this started out as like a follow up to that, and kind of morphed from there a little bit into its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
man.
It's about the same idea, like a bunch of artists that I enjoy working with all together on one project.
That's dope, man. Yeah, it sounds fly, man. I heard the whole thing for the first time the other day. Y'all in for a nice treat. Despair, you got any questions for him about his beat making, production, anything? You're the DJ, man. You guys speak, you know.
Well, I'm here.
Any questions you think about the production, anything about you hearing the sound?
Yeah, so
you see, I'm the rapper. You let me talk.
So I'm about to go into because I'm just letting Thrust say his thing though. But you've worked with a lot of people, but who would you really love to be on your music? Like, who's like your fantasy artist to have on your music?
I want to do something with Freddie Gibbs one day, definitely.
That's a good one right there.
Because I understand I was kind of looking in that spot because I listened to your beats and you got that vibe that he would rap on that
Okay.
beat. So
Well, that's a big compliment. Thank you.
oh, trust me, when I listen to the stuff that you put out and the way you said it too about finding like certain artists that you never know if they're gonna compliment the beat later. You just make beats just for the sake of making them and all this stuff, right? So
Yeah, pretty much.
you never know who. Like sometimes you will think, okay, this person could rap on this.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, definitely. Like I got that track I got back from Thrust over. I don't want to reveal too much of this because
Oh, you can throw it out. It's okay. Put it out there.
that the one that temple track you sent me.
Yeah, the second one, the one from the other. Yeah, yeah.
As soon as I made that beat up. Oh yeah,
Didn't that turn out nice?
Yeah.
I just got that yesterday. Hey, Despair don't even. I gotta send you a track. Hype this.
Yeah, I understand
No,
that.
that's
See, this is what I'm
no,
talking
but it's the
about.
same thing. But that's the beauty of music.
No,
Like
but
he sent me a track a while ago. I laced it. I left it in the studio. I didn't even have it arranged. You know,
Right.
just so you know, I didn't even hear that. I did it one night. I did it so quick. I did my verses quick. I laid it. I did like 3 other tracks. I left it and I went to Hype. Right. Who I eventually hooked you up. Hype's on his album now. This is funny how life works. That's when that's the first time I met Hype. When Rickshaw endorsed him, I said, okay, Hype, I got this beat. I heard a track. I go, I think you'll sound good on that track. And that was like a year. That was like a year and a half ago. You know, yesterday they fixed it, did the hook. I told them to do the hook, everything. I said, I think your voice is better than mine in the hook. Same when you say about the beats, right? And I gave them like a little thing. Yo, that's what they said. So when I sent that to you, I was just as forward as you. Don't that sound dope?
Yeah,
See,
that's so fire.
That's what I mean. Like once you start working with somebody, eventually down the line, you'll start constructing things around them because you know what they like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes. Yeah, but we still work. Me at the casinos right now. I don't know if he's like a lot of artists. Usually I'm like that with a lot of artists. Me and No Casino still work the same way. Just we're just better friends. Like we're friends actually, not better friends. We're friends. I know about his life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
You call me. We
Yeah,
talk for like
what up,
half
bro?
an hour or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, we talk more about our personal life than we talk about anything we're doing. I even called him on Friday just to check in on him. And then we talked for about an hour and a half, and then we got into music, but the call wasn't even supposed to be about that. And I think you're right. That's the beauty of music. If you have
See,
that,
that's
then
not
stuff will
even
come.
just the music. That's just the beauty of humanity. Like we're
yeah.
losing that where people are not even talking to each other about things. Like, yo, do this, and I'll talk to you later. It's like, yo, like.
am I even good enough to do that?
It's like how are you? You know, just like,
We've
good
lost
morning.
that art of communication.
Hey, Tom, speak up, man. You know what I'm talking about, Tom.
Well,
Yeah,
tell me
that in.
we've lost that art of communication, right? A lot of it is just the text. A lot of it is the social media aspect of it. There isn't a lot of phone calls anymore or anything, just to say, hey, what's up? How are you?
Oh yeah.
You see, it's like
definitely.
things like it's like a lot of people don't get to know you. It's like I post up a picture of me with a big ass joint, and come on, you guys know I smoke a shit ton of weed.
Yeah.
But it's just like when I sit there and I'm watching people going, "Oh my god, I can't believe you smoked that. How you doing?" I'm like, I'm up the next day doing the Northern Touch show.
You do it. I know people.
You know what I mean? Like I'm already
great.
like I've already smoked another 2 joints while we were starting the show. Like people just think that that's soft. Like people are like they don't understand when you're conditioned to do things in life, especially making beats. How long does it take you to make a beat these days?
Yeah, I could do one in 10 minutes, or I could take 2 days. It depends.
See what I mean? Like, and when you take the longer time, it's because you put more passion into it, and you're feeling like something like you want to like the world to know.
Oh,
You
yeah,
making
exactly.
something in 10 minutes is just like here, take that and go. Like,
I call it like this, and Rickshaw know it, and Despair know. It's like music. There's 2 types of musicians to me in the game right now. There's those who make Walmart music, like all that trap and all that same flight music sound the same. That's Walmart. You go into Walmart, you find anything, man. Right? And then you got people like us. We're like a boutique art store where you get specialized, nice pieces, and you're not gonna pay Walmart prices for our art either. Because art, this is quality, and you don't mind paying it. You walk in, yeah, that painting there is $4,000. It's only one of that painting though.
Oh yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
see-
doing as an artist. That's what my circle of people who I mess with, anyone I mess with, that's what we all doing. Everybody else, I don't want that. You can have the title, you can have all those numbers, you can be the king of Walmart. Go ahead, you're the king of Walmart. Because you know what? Down in history books, like I study the ancients. I love the ancients. That's my newest thing on a psychology. And you know what's the stuff that's left? all the stuff that people find. They don't find that Walmart stuff. You
Oh
ever
yeah,
notice
they
that?
find the
They find the art. All the
Yeah,
only
the
thing that
quality.
remains. Look at it. It's the dishes. It's the pottery. It's the paints. It's the drawings on the wall. It's the structure from those buildings. It's the stones, dude. So that's what we make. So everybody, when we leave this planet, what are you really going to leave? Egyptians tried. They couldn't take the gold, but they left the art. See what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what you do. That's what Despair does. That's what Director Awesome. That's what the No Limit touch of. And that's the difference between making something that everybody. I don't want everybody to have access to all my stuff. My words aren't for everybody.
See, but I try to show people is like, look at how we are right now. We have a videographer on one side, we have a producer, and we have an artist, and we have a DJ. Now these elements work together. You see, most people will just bring in some random person who doesn't know nothing about music and have them stay here talking with people. It's just like, hey,
Even look at this. Even
Karen,
this show. This show, you're not going to see a lot of rappers on this show.
That's
Like,
the whole point.
You see, most shows you're going to see, Know the Touch Show, hosted by someone like Thrust, and there's going to be a bunch of rappers on here. I'm going to guarantee you all audience, you're not going to see a bunch of rappers on here. And the rappers are going to be on here. They're going to have something to really offer. And that's what it is. We want to give something different. We want food for thought. You can see rappers talking every day. Just go on Instagram. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
You can see that. You can see that stuff. You can see. I'm not going to give people what you can see, and that's what we do. We're supposed to contribute to this world, man. You're right. Despair Talk. Sorry, buddy.
It doesn't make no. It's not even that. Like you're saying it right. Like if you're not in touch, okay. Now, the producer is a key point in everything, because if you don't got beats, what do you got?
No.
Then
you gotta,
from you know, engineer, producer, the whole nine. If you don't have somebody to make you sound good, what the hell you got? And then after that, then you can't just work with anybody, because most people, don't you sit there sometimes and you're in the studio and you hear somebody's verse on a beat and you want to tell them it sucks, but this person's like a big name person and you're just like, I don't know if I should let this slide, but you know what I mean? Like,
I've been there from the outside, but
No, yeah, I definitely know what you mean.
I got Irish in me, so you know what that means. You don't see it, so you know what that means, though. You probably hear me tell you, dude. You might want to do that over.
See, this is the thing, though. When you sit there and you're like, and you're a big critic when it comes down to music. Like you're sending me music, and I'm going through the album, and I'm like, I don't know about this track. And then if you get mad about that, that's on you, because you ask me my opinion. See, you see what the thing is? It's just like just today, Tough Dumpling hit me up at the track, and then I'm just like, yo, this is fire. Like, I'm just like, fire. But then I sit there and turn around and it's like, Thrust hits you in the track, like, bars, fire. And then it's like, and then every time they turn around, they go, Despair, all we ever get from you is either fire emojis or just like, I'm just like, what else do you want me to say? Like, if it sucks, I'll send you toilets. But
Is it toilet paper? Just like that'd be the best emoji. We need a toilet bowl, like just the toilet paper rolled out a little bit.
You know, because like a lot of people now, and a lot of my networks now, we have a couple of things where we turn around and we tell people and producers and rappers, yo, the beat's tight, but why the hell did you put this nigga on there? Or this is good, but then why'd you let that verse slide? Like, it's just like, you know, it sucked. Why'd you put that on there? It's just like, and then some rappers are like, yo, I put myself at the end of my tracks. Why? Why go at the beginning? Oh, I just wanted the celebrity to take the beginning. I'm just like, so you just want him to take the whole track? We listen to the celebrity and cut you right out.
Well,
you know
that's what I'm saying. You're giving
right?
the DJ the out. Don't give the DJ the out, man. You give the DJ the out now. Now you just got to play Redman verse and that's it. You know, you haven't heard your verse yet. Hey, shit.
Yo, you know, okay.
Really?
Perfect example. You know how many songs from back in the days with No Limit and Compton?
Oh my
and
gosh!
all those guys where there's that one rapper on there that you just like, why is he on there? He was
I worked No Limit Records.
It was just like,
I brought No Limit to Canada. I worked for Master P. I worked with all those promotions. So yes, I do know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? And then, even when you did like listen to some Tupac tracks, there's certain guys on there that should have never been on the track.
Nope. Well, you can never tell those guys no. I dare you. It's fair. Pac couldn't even tell those guys don't come out like track if you know the story.
No, but you see, that's the thing. Like, how you gonna tell
crazy,
a gangster
man.
like, yo, your verse sucks?
Yeah,
What?
that's what I'm saying.
What you saying?
Yo, that guy is probably the worst rapper ever. We probably saved your life 20 times. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's out with Pac. So Pac's like, yeah, he got a ride on my track. I can't say shit. It's not even funny though. It's the truth, man. It's scary.
But speaking about different artists, I guess in the industry, who are some of your inspirations for your music?
I listen to a lot of Jay Dilla, and I was big into Kendrick Lamar for a while. Like, I still love Kendrick Lamar, but I haven't listened to him as much.
Why not? Why not?
Just
What happened? What happened?
He's got to put some shit out.
He went quiet for a bit.
Yeah, I think he went quiet. He kind of went off a path, but it's hard when you get that.
No, he doing movies and TV
that title
shows.
thrown on you and shit too. So that's what he's doing. Yo, no, I mean even the records, because the records, first record, second, it's like he was on a path. I always wonder with Kendrick where he was going to take his music after making like it's almost like like Rascast. When you make such a momentous project the first time, even as producers too, man.
Oh yeah,
it's very hard to like follow up. It's good to have like a sophomore. Let's say your second album sophomore. It's usually better to have your sophomore album be like the big one. It's your first one. It's really hard. Like, where do you go?
No, but you see, he's done so much that now, like when he drops something, people jump on it no matter what because.
Oh no! I'm not talking about. You're talking Walmart. I don't care about Walmart.
No. I'm not talking that way. No, I'm saying. What I'm explaining is, hold on, wait. No. There's no reason to drop anything right now because there's no touring aspect for the follow up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you notice there's not a big, like, none of the big name artists are not doing anything right now.
No, I'm talking about we're talking about his past records. These guys.
That's what I'm saying. After a while,
album, I'm talking about what he did from his first album to now. I know you're talking about if he has something new.
No, I understand. What I'm saying is like you don't even see him doing collabos right now. Like
no, exactly. When he's like J. Cole too. They're smart. People aren't that has nothing to do with the thing. People are just treasuring what they're doing. They're not just giving themselves no more. You know what I'm saying? You know the story. I was doing a track. I was supposed to do a track with Bumpy. Freddie Fox, he said the same kind of thing. He's like, well, what are you going to do with the track? A lot of artists are asking you, what are you going to do with my art? Because a lot of people's legacies have got messed up. Now you look at Biz Markie, rest in peace, Biz. We have time to talk about Biz. Now look at Biz's legacy. Biz left one of the most intact legacies. Right? That's a legacy you want to leave, man. That's how you leave your legacy. And other people's legacies, they want to straighten it out. Some other people's halos ain't straight. Other people realize, hey, and I think that's where Kendrick's like, he could pick and choose now. He's like, well, I don't got to do that. All those kind of artists are like that now. So like, how's that going to add on to my legacy? Oh, it's not. Because they already got money. They got everything, like you said.
Well, I didn't know saying, like anybody could go and drop tracks like every day and all that stuff and anything because they don't sell at arenas. You know what I mean? They need the sales and everything to keep them going. Like the people need the numbers and the views to keep them popular. Like the other day when I made that post, like, how's your social media not matching your sales? I don't care how many numbers you have on your stuff. If no one's buying your records, like, what's the point of it? I don't care if you have 2 million fans, but if you're making 2 million sales,
let's forget about the sales. You're right. Let's scale that down. How come your followers ain't matching in your likes? I see niggas are like, hey, I got 7,000 followers. Every time I look at the thing, they got 5 likes, 10 likes a post. What? Well, we know what you're doing, but it's so funny. Like, how could you think that's equivalent? What's the point of having 10,000 followers then?
Hey, man, you see, that's the thing that you got to look at.
The term followers too, man. Don't buy into those terms, man. That's what it is.
And even these fake producers, just taking templates from other producers and just flipping them around. What is that? When did that happen? What happened to the sacredity of you learning and getting to a point where I was like, okay, I see where you are, youngin'. I'm going to give you these templates.
Hey, no casino. Speaking of that.
Now it's just like, let me sell this shit. Everybody have it. Like, how do you feel about
that? Hey, no, speaking of that, what equipment did you start out on? What was your first 2 purchases? Because you're a producer, we got to get into the gear. You can't have producers. And what is the gear you're using right now? And then I'm going to leave a third one. What piece of gear, if you had any choice right now, no limit, what would you buy?
I use FL Studio most of the time. That's what I started on, and that's what I can express myself the best way, I think.
Did you find Studio? Did you just click with it right away? Like, why did you not go to like because especially you like Dilla. Like, it's awesome you say that because Dilla was the opposite of that. Dilla like he found something in the punch. See what I'm saying? So see, that's interesting you say that, right? So what led you? Was it just a matter of circumstance? You just opened up Fruity Loops and it just clicked for you, or you just tried the other stuff and wasn't better?
When I was like 13, I downloaded a cracked copy of like an old version of it, and I just learned on it, and that's kind of what I used. And then eventually, once I started getting more serious about it, after a couple of years, I bought like what's it called, a Korg pad control, and I run that through, and I use samplers and bang out everything.
I break that thing. The reason I'm touching on that is any bit on Instagram, that's what they see you messing with.
Oh yeah.
And you make that thing look like, I don't know, man. You look like you Frankenstein, or not Frankenstein, the mad professor in the lab doing. So you know, I'm talking about this when he's on that, and you see, what can that thing do? Where can people get it? Hey, break down that machine, man. And how'd you find out about that machine?
So I bought when I got the SP404, I found out about it because I knew Dilla and like Madlib and
who makes it? Is it a Roland?
Yeah,
Roland machine. It's a Roland. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of the times I'll make my beats in FL Studio and then bounce them out into that and mess with the effects on there. And I don't use it too much for like the creative aspect, other than doing the final like effects on the beat.
The effects of the edits and all the funky. Yeah. Dope. So all your drums, everything's Fruity Loops, eh? That's dope, man.
Fruity Loops, but I have a MIDI controller that I bang everything out on because like I don't like how it sounds when I click it in.
Yeah, because your drums got a sound, man. If somebody heard that you use Fruity Loops, they wouldn't. They'd be like, what else are you doing? Because that's one thing I like about your production. You personally, your drums got a swing to it and a sound. Like you got like I can't even say it. Even most of like New York's got a sound. There's a sound out in New York. Oh, and what's your tie? Because I know this about you. I know you grew up and everything, but you also used to like how did you really meet hip hop? Like, did you go to New York? Did your family used to take you there? What's the whole story with you? And how did you really like? How did the music take you? Is that part of the journey?
It wasn't. I do have family in New York that I visit a lot, but I didn't really get into hip hop there. It was more like
is there a college radio? Is there like a radio show? Like what? How did you find? Like how did you get on? Was there a college radio show out there you guys listen to? What's the hip hop show like when you were like what? How did you get to the music? Because one thing you say, oh, I like the music, but I know for us in Toronto, we have 3 record stores, we got 3 radio shows. So if you're in our city, growing up, what was the source? What was the source when you were coming up for you to get all the music?
A lot of when I was in high school is when I first really started getting into hip hop. So like just hearing stuff my friends were playing and.
Oh, so you guys had no radio station out there at all?
Oh no, it's like all country music out there.
Oh my gosh, no, hey, despair, man, you hearing this despair? No, you know what I'm saying? Because we come from Canada, right? Remember, we're in the state. This is cross border, right? And even awesome, like so. It's good for people out to see. Like for us in Toronto, since like I don't know, 1980, 82, you could always hear hip hop if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had 3 running shows, running straight. We have one of the longest lineage of. Of course, someone's cutting the line when I'm doing this. Neighbors. Hope you don't hear this too much. But yes, we have a long lineage of radio shows. So it's interesting to see how people like. Did you have to get in the car? People had to. I guess you guys had to live through the mixtapes. Like people going to New York and to Philly and to all those spots and bringing tapes back from there in high school. I guess, right?
Oh yeah, and like the closest we got to hip hop on the radio would be like whatever they were playing on the top 40.
Yeah, but well, we know. Hammer.
That's why the rest of Canada was upset with Toronto because Toronto's the only thing that was playing hip hop.
A lot of places were upset, but Toronto had hip hop before most of the states, man. Toronto had hip hop before '98. I need people to see. That's why I keep asking this question on the shows. And Toronto itself doesn't know that. The only reason that I knew that is because I was always in the States my whole life, back and forth with being from Toronto. So I had that like vantage point from since I was a baby, always traveling it. And I always come home. It's like, you got complaining. You may be complaining, but like, dude, you understand most of like, there's so many states that wish they had what we had. Especially on Saturdays.
In Toronto, you were getting Buffalo stations. Like
that's what I'm saying. We have Buffalo too. I didn't even talk about that. We had WBLK right over the border.
That's how I kept myself ahead.
That's how I first heard it. No, that's how I first found it in Canada. I was going to New York, so I always get New York radio. But then I'd always come back and try and find it up here. I go, someone has to play it, and I kept saying Buffalo. So Buffalo had a show. Used to come on Friday nights. It was like from 11 to like 1 in the morning or something like that, and they play hip hop on there. But you hear like 4 or 5 songs. But then when Ron Nelson went on air, Ron Nelson's been on Sarah Fantastic Voyage around, I think, 1984. So officially from 1984 in Toronto, you would hear the latest hip hop no matter what. And that was a 3-hour show. And then everything else spawned after that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've had it on air. Like, yeah, our Cool Herc was a real, like, you know, I say the same thing. We had hip hop and we had shows since 84. When Run DMC toured when they did that world tour, the last spot they came to was Toronto.
Right, like even the Master Plan show.
Right, all the Grandmaster Flash, those guys, they all came. Roxanne Shantae's, they all came here. Cutmaster, everybody been here since early '80s. Actually, most artists' first shows out in New York when they were touring, the first place they went to was Toronto, and then they come do the interview on Much Music, and they were all excited. I'm on the TV because they wouldn't get on MTV, and that was before MTV. Yo MTV Raps. We were at these before Yo MTV Raps. Remember the history of Toronto? It's in the vault, man. So it's interesting, man.
Yeah, like all the hip hop I listened to, I had to like go out and try to find and like listen to who's featured on a song that I like, or like just explore from that. And like I never had any radio to like.
That's why when I talked to you, even yesterday, Despair. Yesterday we were working on this track, and I'm like, yo, take this. I might take this Mike Geronimo and this. You know what I mean? I could give away what song I was talking about. You know what I mean? But it didn't work anyways, right? We didn't end up using it, but this is a reference over this track we're doing. Actually, it's for the Fly track. Actually, you could say it. But and he's like, what? Huh? I go, you got to know Mike Geronimo. Mike Geronimo, 1990, 91, 92. It's all on the radio. It's all on the radio, college radio. And he probably does know Mike Geronimo. You knew it when you heard it, right?
I knew
the voice, right?
I recognized the sample, and I think I do have heard something else from him before.
But you wouldn't know the name. But that comes from that thing. Like we know music, man. Anyways, it's just interesting to see, man. Different places, man. Everybody thinks you're just from the United States.
You got to think at that time when
you got hip hop everywhere.
But you see, first, you got to look at that time when you knew all these rappers and everything, you were competing with them. You see, a lot of people are not in that concept because we were playing their records, you were competing with them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people see it in that aspect.
Well, you know what it is, too? As much as it's funny. It's funny you say competing. I guess I am out there competing. I call it cooperating with them.
No, but
I'm at it out to see. But I know what you're saying. I'm in the mix. Yeah, I was on the tapes. But even before that, like I'm the biggest fan of hip hop, dude. Maybe I'm a different rapper. I'm a bigger fan of the music than I am. I don't even listen to my own music, dude, at all. I listen to it. You guys know me how I am. So when I have to listen to it, right? So
I get what you're saying, but you see, you guys look at the demographics of Canada to the U.S. When people are looking at Biggie and everybody in the U.S., we're looking at Thrust, Socrates, like all of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's counterpartners to everything. Like, there's even like when you're looking at producers, how many producers from the States are working with Canadian artists, and how many Canadian producers are working with American artists? And a lot of people don't know that because no one checks the credits like they used to. So no one goes and looks to who's working with. Like, I remember getting a CD or a cassette and flipping it all open or getting the vinyl and pulling out the sleeves and going, who did this beat? Who made this?
Well, DTS, big up DTS, Master Plan Show alumni, Despair alumni, you know what I'm saying? But him and dudes like that and Bronski, those were the first guys really, and that was around 1989, because we went on to breaks up here through this dude named Howard Hughes. Big up Howard Hughes, Chic Dynasty. He had all Michi Me stuff, First Priority, etc. You know, Light, etc. Audio 2 fame. And those are the first guys that came over and started looking at the records. That's why I found out about breakbeats and records. I've known about breakbeats since 1986, looking for breaks. I had the whole breakbeats collection out in New York, the street beat one. I was going to New York since, I think, 99. I had to find a record. Me and Power had it, DJ Power. So those DJs like that started looking at, that was that time. You started looking on the back of the records and looking and saying, who's the guys making this, man? But there wasn't a lot of dudes in Canada even doing it. We were the pioneers of that. And then we got into the breakbeats. And from that, you see it was us Circle that went to Grassroots, right? Us, Grassroots, and then it goes down to like the Circle figure. It went all the way down.
Well, because look at it right now. Look at how many people say, where did this producer go or where did this rapper go? And then the rapper, like Kwame, Large Professor, certain guys became engineers and producers. A lot of guys just went in the background and just did the work, and made other people famous. And a lot of people don't understand that. You don't always got to be that rapper in the front line or always that producer in the front line.
Well, I think too, it's what it is. A lot of rappers did. Like even me as a rapper, people don't know what I produce. I can produce better than a lot of producers. I just don't have the time, to be a focused artist. So some people, you get to that point where you can do it. Because when we started hip hop, most of us here can attest. Like maybe it's now people come in. I'm trying to do one thing. It's so like, but to be hip, we had to do everything: dance, graffiti. You know what I'm saying? MC, DJ, produce. Like we was doing everything. It's just that a few of us figured out that, hey, I'm really gifted in this one area. You know what I'm saying? So let's just sit on it. And I think that whole area is like that. Because you look at a lot of the DJs and rappers, that they can all go back and forth. They could do everything. So it's definitely interesting, though. Yeah. Man,
producers are right now the biggest guys pushing out albums. Like, fuck a rapper. I could put 10 rappers on an album and I got money now.
The problem is this, because rappers took their value away, man. See, rappers took their self-value away by making it too easy to rap. Yep. It was hard to rap before, so people have value in it. That's why even my stake is a little more stake, because I don't do that typical rap, and there's not a lot of it. It's the market's flooded. It's like it's like investing in a stock. Everybody's on this one. Everybody's on that thing, man. That's not hot. That's not cool. If everybody can do it.
Oh yeah, the same thing is going on with like.
If that sounds all over a McDonald's commercial, then how cool is that?
Oh yeah, the same.
Right? How cool is it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not cool. You gotta do this stuff. It's like cutting edge. Cutting edge is not out there like that. And hip hop was cutting edge. When you say no, I don't want to take your energy. You're saying the same thing with what?
It's going on with producers too. Like people downloading a loop from Splice and just throwing it in and not touching it or anything. And
well, that's the problem I have now with production now, and everybody copies sounds. So we got to get back to like hip hop on. Let somebody come up with a sound, keep their sound, because everyone's on the Alchemist thing now. That whole Alchemist sound. You know what I mean? He's been doing it for a while. Anybody could do that, man.
Oh yeah.
We just turn on me buy a 900 or whatever, and just go filter it. We get probably 2 loops to sound good, and we just filter it out and just loop a 16, man.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm a dope producer. You know what I'm saying? This part. No, dude. My daughter could do that, man. She's like 9, no problem, man. She knows music. Like no, you see what I'm saying? It's gotta be. It's like art. Like hey man, how did that guy put that picture on that wall? How did Michelangelo put all those angels on that cathedral ceiling? That's what we're supposed to be aiming for. Like have a standard, and that's when the game won. And they took it out of New York, and they went to it. No, there's people doing it. Like it's coming back. I don't even complain. I'm saying that's what it is.
Where you could sit there and actually like you notice how we've been working on music lately, and every time we circulate around the crew the stuff that we're actually working on personally, you could see the vision of it. You could see the vibe. You could see the videos. Like I could give Tom a video and he could see a vision of what I want to do with it by just like, okay, this is what's going to go on with it. And then even without actually playing the whole video, you want to fucking see that video. Like every time you see the thing, right? Like it's even with a beat, like even the beginning of the show, every single time you hear that beat.
Yeah.
Love it. Like it's just like I feel.
Yeah,
like
I'm proud.
I just want an episode where I'm in an elevator. Just
hey, no, man. I know. Hey, no, I know. I don't look at anybody out there as competition at all. Just because I got love in my heart, and like I said, I'm here to cooperate. I'm not here to compete. I think we're all individuals. We shine our own light. But the so-called competition of people who got bad energy and vibes, I know we heard them with that intro, man. Right. Thank you, no. Like, cause that would hurt, dude. That beat was almost like, oh my gosh, man. That was alone, man. Hey, that alone showed you, yo, this shows something. because you seen the thing, you seen the low, you seen the thing, and you just heard that beat. And if I know I've been on the other side of that, you know, you know what I'm saying? Just feel you've all been on the other side of that. When something new comes along and you just hear like a beat and then you see a title for it, like, what the hell is that, man? And I can't wait to hear that again. You're like, yo, whatever that thing,
that's what I'm talking
whatever that
about.
thing is over there, like, because when you know it's new and shiny, this is because this show's new and shiny now. So it's like people still, even to us, it's new. We're still developing what it is. But you gave us like that landscape. Oh my God, man! Thank you.
You sent it to me and said, "What do you think?" And I said, "We don't have to hear anything else. That's it. That's it right
there." But you see, that's what I mean. When a beat could take life of itself, and you don't even need to put lyrics to it. Like, you know what I mean?
It's definitely.
And beats like that, even as a rapper to write to, you're like, oh man, I better do this one right. Those beats are like, you know, you get beats, you're like, hey, some beats you get them, like, yeah, man, that one is like, boy, you better bless that one properly. Because it's royal. It's royal. I call beats like that. There's certain beats, you hear them. Jay-Z has a couple of them on the Black album, like Rock Wilder does those kind of beats. He doesn't do it like that's what he doesn't do. I call it royal. It's like royalty, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like royalty, man. Like, you know, you heard Above the Clouds. The first time you heard that guy, your head is like, what the? You really are above the clouds. It's like royalty, man. It's like angelic. It's like if angels, that's the music of angels, man. That's what I call it. The music of angels. I just coined it right here on this show. And that's what they were going to come down on music. They'd be playing that for sure, dude. Boom, 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 no casino. You come through the gates. Yeah, I know y'all want this. Yo, I love doing this show. I love you guys, man. Hey, what's up, Tom? Director, awesome. You got any other questions you want to ask?
I think you've answered everything that I had written down here. You touched base on everything that I actually wanted to know. If there's anything Despair wants to ask.
I just want to know when, you know, I want to sit down with you and get a project together because I'm
down.
See some future things going on around here. Because right now, the way I love about hip hop and the way everything's going is like, if we don't have these platforms, we won't be able to unify and grow. Like, you know,
oh, definitely.
Like one man.
I got this, man.
Why you gotta?
You see my lighter? Hey, see my lighter? Yo, I'm gonna show everybody. I got a bunch of these lighters. These lighters are the best, dude.
You better send me one.
It's a lighter. Watch this, man. Hey, you know what this is for? Oh, to show the. Look, oh man, I got one with the red dot. I went to the store 2 weeks ago. I had to throw this in. It's like props. I went to the store and the guy had like 7 of those left. I was buying some papers because I saw this thing. Look at my eyes. He goes, oh yeah, you better buy 3 of these, man. He goes, I brought these in today, and this guy had a whole like 20 of them left. This guy's coming back for those. This is nice. So give me 4 of those right now. How much? I don't even care. Oh yeah, buddy. Don't worry, Despair. I got extra ones. When we come out to the Peg Festival, you're gonna see these, man. Just bring the Zippo. You're gonna like that. You're gonna like that long arm, the quarter arm. The quarter arm blunt.
That can't light blunts that I smoke. So I don't know.
We need like 5 of them in the corner like this, like 70 Sam.
You need like 3 people holding one at each end.
You know, talking about Looney Tunes, 70 Sam. This is 70 Sam. Hey, don't mess with the Northern Touch show. We got you.
You know, the messed up thing is like that is an actual mini torch. That's the messed up part about it.
This is the best. You see, I still got the tag. I got 3 more. I gotta bring the other ones out though. Oh yeah, you know, Thrust. Everyone know me. I'm like Batman. Batman's my favorite superhero. So the one thing I took from Batman is I always got something. I always got gadgets to pull out. See, gadgets. Personal made jewelry. You can't buy this, people. Despair got the backgrounds, the director got the awesome, and No Casino got the beats, man. So no, man, let's talk about your let's just round this up. I think we're pretty much the energy is saying that you know, we said
yeah,
where can they find you? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let No Casino give us your socials where everyone can find you. Let us know if there's any projects that you're working on in the future that everyone wants to know about. And then we'll take it from there.
I've got Clubhouse Rules coming out August 20th with everybody. Thrust going to be on it. Dankry Harv's going to be on it, and a bunch of people are going to be on it. And I've got a couple other projects in the works that I don't quite want to reveal yet, but like definitely be on the lookout.
I got a big up hype. Hype's going to be a lot of hypes on a Type A artist, man. We got him on the Project Blast. I like his joint, man.
Oh
Joint
yeah,
you guys
you
did
went
is
so
dope.
hard on that.
Yeah, you called me. You said I need an artist, man. I think you guys can do a lot of music. So Hype's on the project too. Big up Hype. You putting in mad work. So yeah, what else you got going on? So that's coming out off all platforms.
Yep.
We might even do. We're gonna work with
Go
some
ahead.
vinyl too. We might, right? Remember we were talking too. So
Oh, yeah.
maybe you'll see some vinyl for it too. Right?
Hopefully. But yeah, and then a month or two after that, I'll put out the beats for the tape, just like the instrumental version of it. And yeah, if you wanna check out more, follow me on Instagram at No Casino, everywhere else at No Casino Beats.
And if any aspiring or signed or Freddie Gibbs himself, Freddie Gibbs wants to reach out and get one of those dope. He needs your beats.
Oh yeah, Freddie Gibbs, hit me up.
Freddie Gibbs. Where can they contact? What's your email? Anything? Where can they find you? Like, or should they just message you on Instagram, kind of thing?
That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. Sometimes I don't see my emails until a couple days after I get them.
We're all like that.
Nice.
All right,
All right,
family.
Despair. Tell everyone where they can find you.
See the name right there? Just go download the app. That's all you got to do. Just simple one-stop shop.
You got another song? You want to enter another song? You want to write out another song before we go, man?
Oh, we could leave on another song. If
Let's
you
do
guys-
it.
Let me do the socials first. So Thrust, give your socials out as well.
Okay, cool. At Northern Touch Show, Thrust Music on IG. To search Thrust on Facebook. Y'all know already. Twitter handles the same. Everything Thrust Music, man. Keeping the continuity. Thrust OG.
And of
What's up,
course, the
Tom?
Northern Touch Show, we have at the Northern Touch Show on Instagram and Twitter. We're at Northern Touch 6. You can find us on Bite Size. That's BYTESIZE.me/the Northern Touch Show. Also, you can find our other show, Pod Jerky. You can find us at Pod Jerky on any of the social media channels.
Blah, blah, blah. That's it. Let me go right out to a song off the album, Clubhouse.
So we want to say thank you. Thank you
Casino.
to No Casino.
Thank you
Who's
guys
on this
for
track,
having
Mo?
me. This
Who's
is
on this song?
This is Tay
All right. Hail it from where?
from Baltimore.
All right. That's it. Northern Touch Show. Join us. Let's go.
I'm working hard not to work a lot. Always working hard, gotta scrape the pot. Love the way I'm living, I be always winning. I look like a diamond, they look like a fragment. They look like a crumb, they were one-on-one. Run them down, gun them down, make them all run. I'm like Jay and Biggie, had a baby, yeah, Biggie never sat inside a passenger. If you hate me, I suggest you say it with your chest out. Next one is snake me getting the guest route. One all three my sons fight for the same TV. Even though it's 30 in the crib plus one in the guest house. Fuck all my ops, know you tired, know you sleepy, get you stretched out. It's grim, everything we shooting double O. Free Mighty, free Trizzy, free my little bro. OGs, they respect what I'm doing, cause they know what's up. I look like a strike, like a bowling ball. Did way too much, I can't hold them up. You better duck, cool, share the pressure on. Make a nigga run for his lifetime, force run for us. Don't come around here, cause we hunt tours. You look like the wrong turn, they gon' say they remember that. We gon' make them memorable. R.I.P. Tribute T. A Dutchie only for the team. Smoking on ops, I seen all your drinks. Seen your reflection in the beam, goddamn, that's one way to go.
NTS Show. Director Awesome. No Casino. DJ Despair. Another one in the books. Tune in
Peace.
every 2 weeks. We here. Peace.
Peace.